Over the years, I have grown so many herbs, and the truth is it really boils down to just a handful that I actually use over and over again. I have herbs that I grow for skincare. I have herbs that I grow for teas, and I have herbs that I like for simple home remedies. So today I thought I would share with you the herbs that have grown a priority spot in my garden this year. I love having the herbs growing everywhere, and I know what my go-to herbs are. So this year I'm focusing on more of exactly what I actually use, and I want to make sure that I have enough of my favorites so that I don't have to buy them elsewhere. I like knowing how fresh they are and how they're grown. So the herbs that I'm focusing on this year are for the skincare, for some teas, and for home remedies, and of course for the kitchen. I want to start first with the teas, but really most of these overlap quite a bit. So, tea. The first two herbs I love to keep on hand, and they're super easy to grow, is sweet Thai basil and holy basil, or tulsi. Now, holy basil has some wonderful benefits, and I'll talk about those in a minute, but the sweet Thai basil is an amazing smell, and to me, the flavor tastes like summertime. I love to just pick the sweet Thai basil and throw it in my water and drink it like that. The holy basil has so many benefits, and I will list those right here. But it is excellent for the nervous system, for relaxation. Holy basil and the sweet Thai basil. Those two will always be in my garden. They also look gorgeous in pots and containers. Super easy to grow. The next herb is lemon balm. Lemon balm is another one that I always grow. It is so calming, and it really makes a lovely tea. But that one also crosses over into the home remedies as well. This is one of those herbs that is not just delicious, it smells amazing, and it has so many great benefits. This is one that I already have growing, and I don't start these from seeds. The lemon balm is one that I tend to buy already in a plant, and I have several of them growing in a container and some in the ground. So if they survive the winter, I won't have to worry about that this year. I want to focus on harvesting enough to last me through the winter. It is great in a container. You can trim it and make 1 cup of tea at a time, or you can trim the whole thing back and it'll grow and look like you haven't done anything in no time. Super easy, super versatile herb to have in your garden. Now, sage is another one, and that is one that I have already in the garden, and again, another one that I would recommend to buy the plant at a garden center. Sage is one that most of us think about using it to cook with, but it actually makes a wonderful tea, and I have a goal to focus on drinking more of that this year because it has so many benefits for us ladies. Sage is also another one that is a perennial. It'll live through the winter most of the time. Next one for tea is chamomile. I've had trouble growing enough chamomile in the past, but we're going to do it this year. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. So we'll start some of these seeds here in a minute. It's a great calming and relaxing tea, and if you've ever bought the Celestial Seasoning Sleepy Time tea, that is mainly chamomile. It has its own distinct smell. The seeds don't smell like that. I don't know what I'm doing, but they smell, to me, I think they smell a little bit like vanilla. I don't know. It's really soft, nice flavor, simple tea, and it crosses over into the skincare and herbal remedies as well. Let's get the chamomile and the calendula seeds started real quick. Chamomile seeds are tiny and they need light to germinate, so I'll gently sprinkle them on top of the soil, and then I'll cover them with the vermiculite. The vermiculite keeps the soil moist, but it still lets a little light reach the seeds. Now, I'm using a seed roll method, and I have several videos on that in the description, but you can use any seed starting method just the same. Next are the calendula seeds. I will press them into the soil and top them off with a little more soil, and we'll water them. Later in this video, I have 2 very simple herbs with some really surprising benefits, so you'll want to stick around for that. But first, let's talk about the skincare herbs. Like I said, many of these herbs are not just for tea. They cross over into skincare and our health. Now let's talk about the skincare herbs. The first one I want to mention is calendula. And if you've watched any of the skincare videos, you know that calendula oil is one that is wonderful for the skin. Calendula is one of those that I always grow. I don't even have to plant them anymore. They just come up willy-nilly in the garden on their own, and I just move them and put them where I want them. Now, they're not a problem, so don't be afraid to plant these. They just will reseed themselves most of the time. Calendula is also nice to grow in containers. Calendula is not just beautiful to grow in the garden. It is one that I love to harvest the flowers and infuse into some oils. It is excellent for skincare. Anyone can grow these. Okay, here's a little fun fact. You know when you hear gardening advice where they say to plant marigolds in your garden to help deter pests? This is actually originally the marigold that they mean, because in Europe, I think they call this the pot marigold. So it just got a little bit mixed up over the years. Even though I don't need to start any seeds of my own, I'm going to go ahead and get some of these started, because I plan to show you how, even if you don't have a big garden, that you can grow some of your own herbs and food in a small space or containers, or something really cool like this. This is a green stalk on your own patio. You can do it, and we're going to do it together. So pick you up some calendula seeds and get those started. And like I said, the chamomile is not just for tea. It is excellent for skincare. So hopefully this is the year I'm going to grow enough of this myself. Some of these herbs really do cross over, and what starts out as just a refreshing tea ends up having medicinal value as well. And that leads me to the medicinal herbs. Mullein is one of the herbs that I always like to keep around. One of my favorite ways to use the mullein is as a tea. I have found that that is the way that it works best for me. Mullein is considered nature's mucinex, and it does work. I've tinctured it and I keep it as a tea, and I've found that if I drink that as a tea, within minutes after drinking the cup of tea, when you have a really hard, dry cough and you feel like there's just something in your chest that needs to loosen up, that cough will start loosening up. Now, it's something you have to drink it several times throughout the day. It is not like taking a medicine that, yes, it's my mucinex. I love it. Oh, and mint. I didn't mention that in my tea herbs. I have mint, and once you have mint, you always have mint. Ask me how I know. Tip, if you buy mint, keep it in a container. It will spread everywhere. But mint is great to have. The mullein is just kind of, it's not a bad flavor. It's just kind of green and plain. So mint is really nice. The holy basil too, that I mentioned earlier, those are really nice to add to something like your mullein or different teas that just kind of taste green. It's nice to make a little blend and add a little honey, and it actually makes a pretty nice tea. Mullein is one that you will see growing on the side of the roads, and that is not where you want to harvest anything. I had a friend that started some from seeds, so she gave me the plant, and I had the one plant, and then I have cultivated that so that I can have mullein on the property all the time. Mullein is easy. It's not hard, but it requires its own video. Mullein is one I keep around all the time. It's probably my number one. It's like kids. Can you really have a favorite? But it's up there. But mullein, its own video. I have kept this going in my yard for about 4 years. It's not hard. I'll do a video on all the uses of the mullein. Love mullein. Another herb that I always will have around, and that is not one we start from seed, and that is the comfrey. It needs its own video as well, and you will have seen that one I've used in the skincare and the pain salve. And yes, the comfrey will get its own video, but comfrey, favorite herb, always have around. It's one of the kids. Another favorite, and it falls into medicinal and culinary. We're getting ready to start on the kitchen herbs, but nasturtium. Nasturtium is one of my favorite flowers that I've always kept in the garden, and I just in the past several years have started using nasturtium more medicinally. You can use the flowers, the seeds, the leaves in so many ways that it requires its own video. Nasturtium is antiviral, antimicrobial. Nasturtium is an excellent herb to use to help build your immune system. It will have its own video, and that will be coming up shortly. And in that video, I'll show you how I make a gorgeous vinegar infusion with the flowers. I'll show you how I make tincture for medicine, all the things nasturtiums. They're so fun. And of course, the kitchen herbs. I have two that seem so normal that I would highly encourage you to grow for some really cool benefits medicinally that we'll cover here in a second. We'll grow basil and dill, thyme, oregano. I forgot that in the medicinal herbs, oregano. But oregano comes back year after year. It's really pretty hardy here in East Tennessee. I'm zone 7AB. Oregano is antimicrobial, antibacterial. It is a powerhouse herb for natural remedies. Powerhouse. I use that medicinally. I make tinctures out of the oregano. I make oils out of the oregano. Just adding these to your diet, they do help you medicinally that way as well. You don't just have to take it like a tincture. I want to focus on harvesting more oregano. Forgot about oregano. So, and I have thyme, sage, oregano, all your normals, dill. I will be starting some dill and basil. But besides those, for the ones you would least expect, let's start with the one that may not be as popular, but cilantro. So I love cilantro. Even if cilantro is not your thing, you might want to think about using it another way. A way that I like to use some of these herbs is I will juice, but you could use these and hide them in a juice or a smoothie if you don't like the flavor. Cilantro helps remove heavy metals and toxins from our body. It will clean out toxins that are known to disrupt our hormones, and it has often been talked about to help the body clean itself up after chemotherapy. So it is a powerful detox herb. If you're not a fan, you might want to find a way that you can sneak it in your diet. But we like it, so that's not a problem. Now, one that you probably see all the time and have never given it a second thought is parsley. Parsley is loaded with vitamins and minerals. 1/4 cup of parsley can get you the majority of your daily recommended vitamins and minerals. I'll list all of those right here. But parsley is a powerhouse herb. And 1/4 cup of this green, and its taste is pretty mild. So I will be growing a lot of it because I can throw that in the juicer. You could throw that in a smoothie. You could chop it up and throw it on a salad. It would be super easy to get 1/4 of a cup throughout the day. Parsley also can tolerate the cold. I have some out in the garden that has overwintered. They got real icky and ugly, and as soon as the weather got warm, it came back. So parsley, we're growing lots of parsley. So herbs, super easy, and they're not just to make our food taste good. They have so many good benefits for our skin. Inexpensive to grow, super easy, save a lot of money. You've got your skincare, you've got your health care, you've got your mental care for some of them actually. And yeah, they're just nice. So super simple. So keep an eye out. That nasturtium video will be out very soon. Probably a mullein video out very soon. And the green stalk video and growing the herbs in your own containers on your patio. It's super simple. You can do it. I thank you so much for hanging out with me. My name is Loanne, and this is Little Bit of Homestead.